My name's Ryan Murphy. For 28 days, I jumped on Amtrak and traveled around the United States. I saw everything from watery swamps to Great Plains to majestic Rocky Mountains to concrete jungles to roaring rivers. Tag along with me as we journey through 29 states in 28 days. What I found was completely different than what I expected. Maybe you could learn a thing or two along the way.
Tell everybody I'm on my way, new friends and new places to see. With blue skies ahead, yes, I'm on my way, and there's nowhere else that I'd rather be. Tell everybody I'm on my way, and I'm loving every step I take. With the sun beating down, I'm on my way, and I can't keep this smile off my face.
The train makes frequent stops along the way to pick up and let off other passengers. One of the stops we made was pretty significant to me. El Paso, Texas is where my mom's side of the family comes from. My grandma and my aunts grew up in a place called Segundo Barrio, which means second ward. They had it pretty rough growing up. 9 kids, a 1-bedroom apartment, having to walk down the street to go to the bathroom. But they didn't quit. They didn't make excuses. They busted their butts, made it out to California, and now very comfortably retired. That right there is the definition of the American dream. Just remember this. Everyone has a story about why they shouldn't be successful. But it's the ones that don't listen to their story are the ones that make something of themselves.
Take me to Texas 200 years ago, where a pride rose from the ashes of San Jacinto. It still beats in every heart like a battle cry. Where I was born, where I was raised, so when I die, take me to Texas on the open range. The Rio Grande is in my veins, it's heaven there, and so my prayer is that you'll take me anywhere in Texas, the only home I know. I'm a child of the Alamo and the Yellow Rose. So when I go, take me to Texas, where my daddy worked.
Austin, Texas, the first stop on our journey, the capital of the Lone Star State. Austin has a different kind of vibe than the rest of Texas, most known for its abundance of live music and the University of Texas Longhorns. We pick up in a section of town called South Congress and stop off at an Austin staple, Annie's Ice Cream. Perfect for the 90+ degree weather. At Annie's, they scoop and toss and mash and catch the ice cream all in front of you. We head across the Congress Street Bridge over the Colorado River into downtown. The city is really built around the Texas State Capitol building, which might look a little bit different than most Capitol buildings because the marble that was used is from a local quarry. That's why it has that red Texas tint to it. The rotunda is lined with former governors of Texas and the Lone Star at the top.
I still love you.
Next stop is the Austin Historical District, 6th Street, which is lined with bars and live music blaring out their doors, filling the streets. As the sun goes down, things are going to get a bit batty. Heading towards the Congress Street Bridge, I get a good spot at the park at the edge of the water. During the spring and summer months, something incredible happens. Like clockwork, each evening at sundown, 1.5 to 2 million fruit bats fly out from underneath the Congress Street Bridge to feed. With the sun going down, it's time to say goodnight. We have an early train to catch to Dallas in the morning.
Can't you tell this is Austin? And I still love you.
She's a small town, hard-working woman just trying to make a living. Working 3 jobs, feeding 4 little mouths in a rundown kitchen. When you're never taking nothing and doing nothing but giving.
The train stops several times a day to allow people to get out and go have their cigarette. I use this time to go explore for a couple minutes.
Said I don't drink, but sometimes I need a stiff drink. Sipping from a highball glass, let the world fade away. She said I don't smoke, but sometimes I need a long drag. Yeah, I know it might sound bad, but sometimes I need a smoke break.
Dallas, Texas, the Big D. You can't think of Dallas and not think of Jerry Jones and his Cowboys. But the first night I was in Dallas, I met some people and I asked them, what's the most Texas thing I could do that night? They said, come with us, and I ended up seeing some real cowboys at the rodeo. Apparently, they have one every Friday and Saturday night at the Fort Worth Stockyards. I had never been to a rodeo before, but let me tell you something, it was a whole lot of fun.
I hit the door running, I fire up my pickup truck and let the horses run. I go flying down that highway to that hideaway, stuck out in the woods to do the bootscoot boogie. Yeah, do-si-do, come on baby, let's go bootscoot.
That night lined up perfectly. Towards the end of the rodeo, the announcer goes on and says next door at Billy Bob's, which apparently is the world's largest honky-tonk according to Guinness Book of World Records, Montgomery Gentry, who is one of my favorite country bands, is playing.
Don't let those faded overalls fool you. He made his millions without one day of schooling. Where I come from, there's a pickup truck with a tailgate down. Where I come from, the pine trees are singing a song of the South. Where I come from, that little white church is gonna have a crowd. Yeah, I'm pretty damn proud.
Day 2 in Dallas. Dallas thunderstorms are no joke. In the middle of the night, I got woken up by some of the loudest thunder I have ever heard. Luckily, when I got up in the morning, it was all nice and beautiful out. I found out that a town a little north of Dallas called Addison was having their annual fair, so decided to stop by. There they had everything from barbecue to Indian food to cupcakes, the funnel cake. We missed Vanilla Ice by one day. We ended up seeing an Elvis impersonator who's pretty good, and then a local guy by the name of Greg Schroeder.
Say live your life and don't regret it. Give it all for one more try.
Walking the streets in these same old shoes, wishing to God these were someone else's blues.
The last day in Dallas, I head over to the George Bush Presidential Library at SMU. It was pretty cool to relive all the different events that happened through the 2000s, because it's the first time in history that I can really say I lived through that and I remember that. They had a replica of the Oval Office.
Well, tell me, what is the meaning? Nobody means what they say.
So I got to sit behind the Resolute desk. I got to see the huge stuffed male lion given to President Bush by the leaders of countries in Africa for his work in HIV/AIDS prevention. The thing that stood out to me the most was the 9/11 section. They had a beam from the World Trade Center in the middle, surrounded by a wall with the names of every victim etched into it.
Walking the streets in these same old shoes, wishing to God these were someone
President Bush wasn't the best president by any means. Looking back, he made a lot of wrong calls. The one thing that you do have to give him credit for is getting the country through that terrible event and not letting another attack occur on U.S. soil during his presidency.
I can hear you! I can hear you, the rest of the world hears you, and the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
From the library, we head to the best view in all of Dallas, Reunion Tower. 561 feet up in the air, you get a 360-degree view of Dallas and Fort Worth off in the distance. It was used as a broadcasting tower for a local radio station, but has since been converted into a fancy restaurant along with an observation deck. It really blew me away to see how flat Dallas really is. That's Dealey Plaza. On the sunny day of November 22, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was visiting Dallas and on his way to give a speech at a luncheon when shots rang out and he was assassinated.
Has anybody here seen my old friend John? Can you tell me where he's gone? You know, he freed a lot of people.
That first X on the ground is where he was first shot.
Just looked around and he was gone.
The second X was the kill shot. We've all heard the conspiracy theories, but you can judge for yourself. That is the view from the 6th floor window of the Texas School Depository Building, where Lee Harvey Oswald was. And that's the view from the grassy knoll. This place has some significance with my family. My dad was actually born on that day, November 22nd, 1963. So my grandma named him after JFK, so he became John Fitzgerald Murphy, and he ended up passing the Fitzgerald down to me. Will we ever really know who shot JFK? Probably not. But what we do know is that he was a great man that challenged each and every one of us to ask not what our country could do for us, but rather what we could do for our country. I really think it's time that we got back to that today. One last thing before we leave Texas and head to Little Rock, Arkansas. In-N-Out is way better than Whataburger. It's not even a competition. Come on.
Oh, but ain't that America? You and me. Ain't that America? me, baby. Ain't that America? Home of the free, yeah. Little pink houses for you and me. Oh, yeah, you and me. Well, there's a young man in a t-shirt who listens to rock and roll station. He's got a greasy hair, greasy smile. He says, Lord, this must be my destination. Cause he told me when I was younger, said, boy, you're gonna be president. But just like everything